Today we talk about how to outsmart women who play games. Now, if you've clicked on this video, it's obvious that you're experienced this before, or maybe you're currently going through it. You're into someone, things seem to be going well, and then suddenly you're caught in this whirlwind of mixed signals and mind games. It's frustrating, it's confusing, it can leave you to questioning everything, but don't worry. Cause today I'm going to show you how to outsmart these games and find true love. Let me ask you something. But why do people, especially women, play these kind of games? Why? Okay, let me break it down. So women might play games for a variety of reasons. Something it's about testing your interest and commitment. Other times it's kind of like a defense mechanism to protect themselves from getting hurt. And yes, occasionally it's just plain old manipulation. But here's the thing, you don't have to play along. The key to outsmarting these games isn't about outmanipulating the other person. It's about understanding the game and changing the rules. Now, before I show you how to do this, let's try to first dig a little deeper to understand why women play such games in the first place. Why do women do it? Because they can. Most of them just want to test a man's commitment to see if he's genuinely interested in something long term by observing a man's responses to certain situations. They can gauge their level of interest and investment in the relationship. Some women do it to protect themselves from potential hurt or rejection. Maintaining that sense of control over the relationship helps them feel less vulnerable. Yet still others do it because they probably have had bad experiences in the past and they're protecting their heart. There are also still a good number who send mixed signals if they're unsure about their feelings or the direction of the relationship. A lot of women are unaware that when they do this, they actually create uncertainty and confusion about her true feelings and intentions. If they meet a man who has a short fuse, they could lose him entirely because it's simply emotionally draining. And he's not up for it. Men hate that feeling that they're being controlled or manipulated. So, armed with this knowledge, let's delve into understanding the games women play and how we can change these rules. Step 1. Recognize the signs. You'll not be able to beat them at their game if you can't recognize game playing when you see it. If someone is giving you mixed signals, pulling away without explanation, or constantly testing your reactions, chances are they're playing a game. Let me elaborate on that. So let's talk about mixed signals, right? One day they're all over you texting, calling nonstop, and the next day it's radio silence. This push and pull dynamic is designed to keep you on your toes, making you crave their attention more. It creates an emotional roller coaster that keeps you hooked. There's also the pulling away without explanation. I mean, you're having a great time. Everything seems perfect, and suddenly they start to distance themselves, no explanation, no reason, just a change in behavior. This will definitely make you feel insecure and desperate for their approval. Then there's the constantly testing your reactions. They might bring up past relationships, flirt with other people in front of you, or even creating scenarios to see how you react. This is a way for women to gauge your level of interest and commitment and to see how much control they have over you. Now, recognizing these signs is crucial. It allows you to see the game for what it is, and once you see it, you can choose not to play along instead. Stay grounded. Don't let their behavior dictate your emotions. That's how you win. Step number 2. Do not take the bait. Stay calm. Don't let their actions dictate your emotions. Responding with your own games will only fuel the cycle. Let's dive deeper into this. Listen, when someone is playing games, they're looking for a reaction. They want to see if they can control your emotions and your actions. But here's the thing. Reacting impulsively will only give them that power that they're looking for. Think of your emotions as the oceans. When you stay calm and steady, you're like a peaceful sea. No matter how much they try to stir the water serene, but if you let their actions dictate your emotions, you become like a stormy sea, turbulent, predictable, and that is exactly what they're looking for. When they send mixed signals or pull away, take a moment to breathe and collect yourself instead. Don't immediately react. This doesn't mean you ignore them or pretend you don't care. It means you respond thoughtfully from a place of calmness and confidence. For instance, if they suddenly pull back and you feel the urge to chase or confront them, resist the impulse instead. Give them space, continue living your life, focus on your own activities and happiness. This not only shows that you're not easily manipulated, but also that you value yourself and won't tolerate inconsistency. And here's a crucial tip. Don't retaliate with your own games. It might be tempting to give them a taste of their own medicine, but this only perpetuates that cycle of manipulation. True strength and confidence comes from rising above the games and not engaging in them. Remember, staying calm and composed in the face of these games not only protects your emotional well-being, but also sets that standard for how you expect to be treated in the relationship. You're showing that you're serious about finding genuine game-free connections. Step number 3, make sure that you're communicating concisely. So, when you find yourself puzzled by someone's actions, the best approach is to address it head-on instead of making assumptions or reacting impulsively. You want to take that moment to have a candid conversation. Sit them down for purposes of this discussion. Let's assume your partner has been giving you mixed signals and it's just driving you up the wall. Now, instead of stewing in confusion or retaliating, invite them to have an honest discussion. Start with something like, hey, I have noticed some changes in your behavior recently and it's left me a bit confused. Can we talk about what's going on? Now, here's why something like this would work. First, it shows that you're mature and willing to address issues directly. This can be very disarming and can shift the dynamic from one of playing games to one of mutual respect. Second, it opened the door for your partner to open up and explain their actions, which might be based on misunderstandings or insecurities rather than intentional manipulation. When you communicate openly, be sure to listen as much as you speak. Pay attention to what they're saying. Try to understand their perspective. Sometimes women act out because they don't feel heard or understood. So by giving them that safe space to express themselves, you're paving the way for that deeper connection. Remember, stay calm, stay composed. During these conversations, the goal is to gain clarity and strengthen your relationship. Not to accuse or to blame, approach the conversation with an open mind and a willingness to find a resolution together. And finally, step 4. Set boundaries. Boundaries are important in any relationship. They define the behaviors that are acceptable and what are not, protecting your emotional well-being and ensuring mutual respect and understanding. When someone plays games, it's a sign that boundaries may be lacking or unclear. So you want to start by identifying your own limits. What behaviors make you feel disrespected or uncomfortable? Write them down if you have to. This could include things like consistent mixed signals, disrespectful communication, or emotional manipulation. Now, once knowing your boundaries, make sure you're talking to her about them. Communicate them clearly. You might say something like, "Look, I need consistency and communication to feel secure in this relationship, or I won't tolerate being manipulated or tested." Constantly be firm but respectful in expressing your needs. Enforcing boundaries is just as important as setting them. If your partner continues to behave in a way that violates your boundaries, it's crucial to address it immediately. Remind them of your conversation and the agreed-upon standards. If the behavior persists, it's a sign that she's not ready to respect you or the relationship enough to change. Remember, setting boundaries isn't about controlling the other person. It's about protecting yourself. Healthy boundaries creates a safe space for both of you to thrive. If despite your efforts, she continues to be erratic and manipulative, it's time to walk away. And I know walking away can be tough, but staying in a toxic situation is even tougher. So bro, there you have it. Outsmarting relationship games is not necessarily about beating someone at their own game. It's about refusing to engage in the game altogether. Don't settle for anything less than you deserve. If you are in a relationship where you feel undervalued, disrespected, unloved, listen. It's time to reevaluate your position. You deserve to be with someone who cherishes you for who you are without the need for games. Remember, the right person for you will love you unconditionally. Without requiring you to play games or pretend to be someone that you're not, they'll embrace your flaws and celebrate your strengths. When you find the right person, you won't have to outsmart relationship games because there will be no games to play. If you find this video helpful, please subscribe. See you soon.